Some major news on a new lawsuit against Rudy Giuliani. But first, remember this moment from June of 2022?
And all of a sudden, I feel a shot on my back, like somebody shot me. I went forward, but luckily I didn't fall down. Lucky I'm a 78-year-old who's in pretty good shape, because if I wasn't, I'd have hit the ground and probably cracked my skull.
And this was Rudy Giuliani's reaction to that moment.
About a third of the way through, I got hit on the back as if a boulder hit me. It knocked me forward a step or two. It didn't knock me down, but it hurt tremendously.
As if a boulder hit him. A boulder! You could spend a month at a rodeo and still encounter less bullshit than 5 minutes with Rudy Giuliani. Now, the guy who patted Giuliani on the back, Daniel Gill, was ultimately arrested and spent 21 hours in jail before being arraigned on misdemeanor charges, including third-degree assault. Those charges were ultimately dropped, but now that man has filed suit against Giuliani along with the city of Staten Island and several police officers, alleging that they, quote, participated in an unlawful conspiracy to deprive Gill of his right to liberty, his right to speak freely without retribution, and to be free from unreasonable seizures in violation of his rights under the First, Fourth, and 14th Amendments of the Constitution of the United States. His action seeks monetary damages for false arrest, civil rights conspiracy resulting in false arrest and false imprisonment, defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and negligent infliction of emotional distress. Again, remember that we have video of the encounter. We know that Gill tapped Giuliani on the back. We know that Giuliani then pretended that he was hit by a boulder and stumbled forward, a lie told in service of ensuring that Gill would go to jail and suffer legal consequences for a non-existent crime. For that reason, the suit charges that Gill was, quote, put through the system at Giuliani's urging, quote, they did so despite the fact that the police defendants and other members of the NYPD all stated that they should watch the video before taking any action. Now, in fairness, Gill did make contact with Giuliani by tapping him on the back to get his attention before saying, "What's up, scumbag?" But to claim that he was beaten by Gill or hit with a boulder is such an abject lie. Gill's suit also contends that Giuliani welcomed contact while he was there. Quote, Giuliani mingled with the shoppers, who variously shook his hand, patted him on the back and shoulders, tapped him on the arm, and generally told him what a great guy he was. Indeed, a woman is shown on the video affectionately patting and rubbing Giuliani's back, demonstrating at least that minor physical contact was welcome at the event. Gill's attorneys issued a statement saying the charges facing Daniel Gill, who has no previous contact with the criminal legal system, are inconsistent with existing law. Our client merely patted Mr. Giuliani, who sustained nothing remotely resembling physical injuries, without malice, to simply get his attention, as the video footage clearly showed. Mr. Gill was then followed and threatened by one of Mr. Giuliani's associates, who allegedly poked Mr. Gill in the chest and told him that he was going to get locked up. He was then needlessly held by New York police in custody for over 24 hours, given Mr. Giuliani's obsession with seeing his name in the press and his demonstrated propensity to distort the truth. We are happy to correct the record on exactly what occurred over the weekend on Staten Island. Even New York City Mayor Eric Adams questioned Giuliani's account, saying, someone needs to remind former Mayor Giuliani that falsely reporting a crime is a crime. When you look at the video, the guy basically walked by and patted him on the back. It was clear that Giuliani was not punched in the head. It was clear that it didn't feel like a bullet. It was clear that he wasn't about to fall to the ground. I mean, even Newsmax was skeptical.
We have that, actually. You were at, I guess, a delicatessen of some kind. I'm going to show the people what happened. And you tell me, because let me see the video if you don't mind. This person with the hand on your back, I got to be honest, it doesn't look that bad, but I understand that looks can be deceiving.
You know, that was the woman who was rubbing my back, not the guy who hit me that you're watching. So that woman gave a statement to the police that the guy hit me so hard that she herself almost fell from the reverberation of it. She's a city worker. There's a second grade detective. That's the lady who helped me.
Oh, all right, good. Now that makes sense.
When you're losing Newsmax, you might have just lost the plot. Now, those charges against Gill, again, were ultimately dismissed, but that didn't stop Gill from filing his own civil claim against Giuliani in the city. And given the video evidence of what actually happened, compared with Giuliani's account about what happened, it doesn't look like Giuliani has much legal ground to stand on here. And remember, this newest lawsuit comes in the immediate wake of yet another lawsuit filed against Giuliani. He was also sued this week by former associate Noelle Dunphy in New York State, accusing him of assault, harassment, wage theft, and creating a hostile work environment by making racist, sexist, and anti-Semitic remarks while intoxicated. She also says that she recorded some of his behavior as part of her job. Dunphy claims that she was hired by Giuliani in 2019 as his director of business development, and he offered her a $1 million annual salary. However, she says he later told her he couldn't pay her until his divorce was finalized and that he had to keep her employment secret. According to Dunphy, these offers from Giuliani were used as a pretext to coerce her into a sexual relationship. For example, here's a text exchange that he had with her. Rudy, good morning, my love. Tried to call. Noel, let me quickly shower. Rudy, can I shower with you? Yep. Totally normal stuff. Dunphy's suit goes on to allege heavy drinking, bigoted tirades, and even claims that he had immunity. He allegedly offered to sell a pardon to her and anyone else she knew for $2 million, with proceeds being split between him and Trump. He told her to keep it quiet because the government would find out if it went through normal channels. The complaint even says that in February 2019, Giuliani told Dunphy about Trump's plan if he were to lose the 2020 election. Quote, specifically, Giuliani told Ms. Dunphy that Trump's team would claim that there was voter fraud and that Trump had actually won the election. This plan was discussed at several business meetings with Giuliani and Lev Parnas. To claim that this is stupid Watergate is an understatement. Now, Rudy Giuliani is of course disputing and denying all of this, saying he categorically denies all of the allegations of this frivolous complaint. Of course, per usual, it's Giuliani's word against the evidence in the filing, with apparently recordings to come. And given what we know about Giuliani's word, I don't think it'll count for much. So obviously much more to come with Giuliani's raft of legal issues, but at the very least, it's nice to finally see the beginning stages of accountability for someone who has lied with impunity for too long. And I, for one, would like to be the first to welcome Giuliani to the finding out phase. Before you go, I need your help. I'm right on the cusp of hitting 2 million subscribers, so please help me grow this channel so the progressive media ecosystem grows by hitting the subscribe button right here on the screen. I also started a Spanish channel so we can finally start regaining some of that lost ground among Spanish speakers, so if you want to help support those efforts, you can hit that subscribe button. And finally, if you listen to podcasts and you want to support mine, you'll find a link to that on the screen as well. Thanks so much for watching.